state the obvious. You see that I'm cocky, I'm on my business. It's a known fact. Your own shit wouldn't flop if I flipped it. I spend cash, never been asked. No bitch can have me. And there's no verse in me in verses. I curve a nigga without the hook. I like this rap shit. It's like I'm fighting with my words. You know I be on my bully, and these bitches got no nerve. I'm trying to balance out my life. Ain't no room for holding grudges. If you looking like you trying to pop, I'm with it, shorty. Fuck it. I'm not ducking nothing. I'm on all these bitches' heads. Birds, geese, goose, whatever. Back and frontals off their heads. Can't nobody touch me, son. Not talking about no melanin. I'm mad disrespectful. Fuck you and fuck your president. All the boys like a bitch. Body tight in the pussy. What I learned from all these gangsters remain solid. I could never switch. Probably the only time you heard me rap about my pussies. It's a fact. You never heard about me act like no pussy. Stop asking questions like why Kanye ain't signed yet. They been fronted that paper. It's just that a bitch ain't signed yet. I'm hearing that my reputation stuck up and not friendly. If I'm always in somebody's face, how I'm supposed to get that Bentley? How I'ma feed my son and stay away from my past? I'm focused on the prize. I can't afford to come in last. How you feel in secret, you won't say in public. Be real. Instead of a high five, how about I tag you like you retail? Before the TV, I been me. Shout out the Mona Scott. Popping hot shit cause I'm Cayenne. Duh, I know I'm hot. And this beat, yeah, I'm walking like I'm Nipsey on it. Challenge, I step to the T, fuck stupid, I go grizzly on it. This what I was born to do. Leave the packet in the tank. Don't think you understand me, cause in my voice you can hear my pain. Fuck all you niggas, old and the new. Y'all could get it too. Now what y'all wanna do? Toe to toe, the only time that I play footsie with a nigga. Trying to see me in this rap shit, better book me, little nigga. Always smoking, but want nothing. Hold that L, I got the W. And none of y'all boys can fuck with me, so I'm not fucking none of you. Nah, just believe it if I said it, cause if I said it, I've been authentic. What I gotta edit. I see you jealous how I pin it, but you gotta understand it. This is my house here, and you are just a tenant. Cayenne.
Hi, welcome to So Get the Podcast. I'm KD. Let's get the show started. So today, would like to start off with my thoughts and prayers once again to those who lost their loved ones. Something that is floating around in social media world, contingent to murder in Chicago. A mother and a son was involved. It was a shooting at a late night restaurant. I guess a late night pickup food. You know, I'm not sure exactly what type of restaurant it was, but it was late night. So someone ended up dying that night. It's very unfortunate because I believe that gentleman had loved ones too. So that's another family and or spouse without a loved one to help raise these kids. You know, it takes a village to raise a kid and or these kids, but to keep losing our men at a younger age and a woman, it's not good. So females, a woman by the name of Miss Hood. She's from Chicago, Carlishia. If you all not heard of the incident or what had happened or taken place, it's a video going viral of a man putting his hand on a woman. Charges was dropped for her and her son. What I would like to say is, I believe and know that our parents should be protecting their loved ones, their kids. Right? Yes, I know it was late. Yes, she was getting food. But whatever has happened or transpired in that particular moment, in those situation, at that time of night, once again, I believe the parents should be the one protecting the kids. So that entails the adults to not place themselves and or their loved ones in circumstances that can jeopardize their freedom and their life. For whatever the reason why that gentleman had to lose his life, he could have did better as well. Everyone that was partaking in that circumstances in those situation could have did better towards one another, and possibly we could have still have another man of color still here to help raise his kids and help this community. So Chicago mother, as I stated her name, she files a lawsuit after the murder charges against her and her son get dropped in a restaurant shooting, as I stated. Just one day after having her murder charges dropped, she has filed a lawsuit against the city. On Tuesday, Ms. Hood filed documents in Cook County Circuit Court against Chicago, as well as the officer who arrested her, along with her 14-year-old son. Ms. Hood, originally charged with murder and held on a $3 million bond for allegedly ordering her son to shoot Jeremy Brown, the man who beat her up inside the Maxwell Street Express as they both waited in line for food. The teen shot the attacker multiple times. He was charged as a juvenile and held without a bond. On Monday, it was announced that the state attorney's office was dropping charges following new evidence. The pair has since been released from jail. However, Ms. Hood still wants someone to pay for what she went through, right? Her statement, what happened to me was totally unnecessary. Never in her million years would I have imagined being brutally attacked, beaten, and being arrested. She shared a press conference shortly after the lawsuit was filed. Video footage of the incident is particularly why the charges were dropped. Brown was seen threatening to hit Ms. Hood if she said another word to him. It's unknown what started the verbal altercation. Now, on social media, people saying this, people saying that. There was people waiting in line as well for their orders. They even stated that the cooks was aware who started the altercation, but as they stated, they don't really know how it happened and or what transpired to escalate to this situation. But at no point was Miss Hood seen hitting Mr. Brown. He punched her several times as onlookers stood by. Miss Hood's son was waiting in the car and received a text from his mother instructing him to bring her gun inside the eatery. So like I stated before, could this have been avoided? Yes. Should it have been avoided? Yes. Continue to what's transpiring in the world today, the senseless murdering and suicides and things of that nature that's taking place in our community. It's at an all-time high, and this is only adding to the fire. We have to do better. We have to think before we place ourselves and loved ones in circumstances that can once again take away your freedom and or your life. We have to do better than that. You have to do much better than that. I don't condone no man hitting a woman. That's one. But two, we can go back and forth. He could have walked away. Could allow her to be talking to herself. Vice versa. She could have said something that got him mad or whatever. We both continue to gender, male and woman, need to do better towards one another. We all have a role in this movie called life. If everyone just stayed in their role and their lane, it will make the world a better place. That will help with the killing and attacking one another, and we can start loving each other more. So, moving on, something that came across my radar. a company called United Nations, I believe, proposing a digital ID system tied to the bank accounts and mobile payments platform. A comprehensive new policy agenda from the U.S. Secretary General details on identification, the process of verifying people identity on a global scale. The proposal is outlined in this section dedicated to the global digital corporation and development goals. Digital ID linked with bank and or mobile accounts can improve the delivery of social protection coverage and serve to better reach eligible beneficiaries. Digital technologies may help to reduce the leakage, error, and the cost in the design of social protection program. The proposal follows a move by the World Economic Forum to explore systems that will track and verify human identity using biometrics. The forum has teamed up with the Swedish biometrics company Fingerprint Cards and exploring blockchains based in digital ID platform that put privacy at the top of a major properties. The UN notes that despite the rapid advance of the technology around the world, more work is needed to provide equal access to the digital regulations and to reverse ever-growing gaps in wealth distribution. Digital technology has led to massive gains in the productivity and value, but these benefits are not resulting in shared prosperity. The wealth of those in the top 1% is growing. Between 1995 and 2021, they accounted for 38% of the increase in global wealth, while the bottom 50% accounted for only 2%. I mean, we'll see. I'm all for, helping the people and or helping the economy not only grow, but to help better with this corporate America and institutions, with all these lawsuits and data breach and information being utilized and without these consumer permission, that needs to stop, should stop. Like I said before, I don't know where the good business practices are. So I'm looking forward to seeing in the very near future what they can actually do in real time. So moving forward, people have been talking about the water, the faucet water, like the type of water people drink and things of that nature. So the company 3M came across my radar. They also involved in a chemical. They are a chemical company. They say that they're going to pay $10.3 billion for allegedly poisoning public drinking water. The company's website explained that the multi-billion-dollar settlement will be paid over the next 13 years. Pending court approval, the settlement will provide funding for public water supplies throughout the country for treatment. Technology provides funding for eligible public water supplies that could detect future substance and provide nationwide funding for the testing for the substance. If improved, the settlement will also resolve correct and future claims of contamination drinking water, including the claims of the foamy foam, something going on in South Carolina, like litigations and things of that nature. So whatever they're going to do with that, this is an important step. This someone made a statement. This is an important step forward for the 3M, which builds our actions that include our announced exit of the PFOA and the PFOS manufacturing more than 20 years ago. Our more recent investments in the state-of-art water technology and now chemical manufacturing operates and or announcement that will exit all PFAS manufacturing by the end of 2025. Mike Roman, the 3M chairman and CEO, that's what he said. The 3M is currently facing thousands of lawsuits as a result of the substance water contamination, although the company announced that the money in the settlement was support of the public water system by helping provide funding for the detections of the PFAS. 3M did not admit liability for the lawsuits. They also reported that the PFAS are considering forever chemicals because they cannot be easily broken down in the environment or the body. The PFAS, give me a second, which have been linked to issues in cancer and environmental change, are used in a variety of products, including cosmetic and cookware. The $10.3 billion settlement could be increased to as high as $12.5 billion, as the settlement would depend on a number of public water systems that detect the PFAS during the EPA testing over the next 3 years, according to the Associated Press. The results is that millions of Americans will have healthier lives without the PFAS in the drinking water. One of the attorneys suing the 3M and other manufacturers for water poisoning said Scott was one of the attorneys in that case. Yes, I know most people are very particular, contingent to what they place in their body, especially water. You need to be hydrated. It's just all about the type of water. So they stating that the water been poisonous for quite a while now, outside of the food and everything else that's going on in corporate America. People got to start doing their things on their own, finding ways to not only protect themselves and their health, their loved ones as well. Other than that, you still would be part of the problem that's taking place in the world. So moving forward, so we have processors, right? You have a payment processor fined $25 million for allegedly charging 500,000 mortgage customers. The processor for mortgage service, Mr. Cooper, mishandled data and unauthorized changes initiated, right? A payment processing company has been fined $25 million by the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, the CFPB, for data practices that resulted in $2.3 billion in unauthorized mortgages charges, impacting 500,000 customers of the mortgage services. Mr. Cooper, the ACI payment is charged with neglecting data handling practices that resulted in the processing of the mortgage payments that were not previously authorized by customers. The mortgage payment charges resulted in a significant negative impact to customers, including insufficient funds, charges at banks, and missed payments. While the customers have since been made whole, the CFPB action creates a further penalty for the ACI. The CFPB's investigation found that the ACI perpetrated the 2021 Mr. Cooper mortgage fiasco that impacted homeowners across the country, said the CFPB director. While borrowers' accounts have now been fixed, we are penalizing ACI for its unlawful action that created headaches for hundreds of thousands of borrowers. Mr. Cooper was one of the ACI's largest mortgage services customers until at least 2021. Mr. Cooper services the mortgages of more than 4 million borrowers and collect their monthly mortgage payments. Many homeowners with mortgages serviced through Mr. Cooper choose to schedule their monthly mortgage payments using ACI's Speed Pay product, which allowed the company to automatically transfer homeowners' authorized mortgages payments from their personal bank accounts to Mr. Cooper's. The impact of the mishandled data was far-reaching. ACI initiated approximately 1.4 million ACH withdrawals on behalf of the Mr. Cooper from homeowners' accounts April 23, 2021 without a valid written authorization. This included initiating electronic fund transfer on days when they were not scheduled and initiating multiple transfers from the same accounts on the same day. The CFPB's action requires ACI to take steps to improve its data practices and also assess a $25 million penalty. So, like I stated earlier in this show and or other episodes, with people and their personal information, you have to be mindful of who you are giving your information to and who you giving your money to. What's transpiring in the world today, people are looking for help at an all-time high. They're looking for direction. So they taking their hard-earned money and they are being convinced to pay some companies and or individuals and or institutions in corporate America to help level their lives and their loved ones around that up. And it seems like they just keep going down. So people, once again, need to do their homework and or research about who you feeling comfortable with doing business and or partnerships, and just having an agreement, just giving your money to them, believing you receiving a service and or product. Hi, I'm KD. This is So Good the Podcast. See you later.